Hello and welcome to A Flock of Birds. Today we're going to talk about your starter kit because you want to start hand feeding or hand rearing, whichever you like to say it, and the things you need. Okay, this is the basic idea. This is the type of brooder. You can look them up, tell you what they are. The way I got this set up, it works perfect. I use a 15-watt light bulb, nothing bigger, because if not, if you use something bigger, it'll burn the babies. Okay. Next, I have a scale that's made by Taylor. On the box, it says the biggest loser, yada yada, what have you. That's what the box looks like. I've had this one since for I don't know, 10 years. Next, you need something to write with. Marker, pen, pencil, whatever. To write on a calendar what it weighs every day in the morning. The best time to weigh them is first thing in the morning. And it's best to use grams instead of ounces. Grams are smaller. This only does grams and ounces. Grams work perfect because it's pretty accurate. Okay. And since you're starting out, I hate these stupid things because the way they're set up, and I'll show you in a second, but you shouldn't be feeding with nothing bigger than 10 cc's. This is a plunger, not an O-ring. If you get the O-ring one, works a lot better and a lot safer. Okay. Pack of these. When you go to look these up, they're called teats. And when you buy them, they're like 50 cents a piece probably. You better buy a bunch of them, like a box. Because no joke, when I first started, every other day I was going through one. Because I'd rinse everything out and wash it out with hot water and soap. And I'd let these soak for a minute and they would split. Right there. And when they split, can't use them anymore. You got to get rid of them. And it sucks to waste 50 cents, but you got to do what you got to do. So it's the best to have that. Next thing in this little kit to have is Formula 1. Because if you get a baby that you pull out of the nest, I know like some of my birds, if I pulled one baby bird out, I had to pull them all. And sometimes they would be a week old. Sometimes they'd be a little smaller than that. And the other babies would be 2 weeks old. I've gotten my birds to where I was able to pull them out more than one, and I could leave some. But you don't want to leave one by itself, at least two. So, or if you get a sick bird like you've seen in my other video that was underweight or what have you, this works perfect. I mean, it does exactly what it's supposed to do. You just follow the directions and it works. Okay. Now you need a way to keep the temperature. Let me get it in the light here. Of the formula and what have you. I use this particular one right here. Come on. It's being a screwball. It's a Taylor 9842. I don't know what the deal is, why it's not focusing. There we go. Damn phone. But this is what I use. And it works perfect and flawlessly. I had one that actually quit working. And I called them up and said, look man, actually I emailed them. Told them what was going on. They sent me another one. That's the second one I've had in 10 years. The first one I got 8 years out of it. Okay. Next thing you need is a scoop. I've gotten really good with measurements. Let's see if I can get it to focus here for me. Come on, you jerk off. Look, you can't see it, but this is 1 tablespoon. And this works for me. But you only use this to scoop out the formula and what have you. Okay. Next thing you have is a metal spoon. You need to have a metal spoon so you can mix it in a ceramic. You don't need to be mixing it in plastic or what have you. You need to mix it in ceramic or glass. Okay, and as you can tell, I got a ceramic cup there. And I just fed and washed all this, so that's why it's kind of wet. Next thing is, yep, it's sherbet. Absolutely not. It's formula. Tropican, made by Higgins. I swear by it. I've had Exact and Supreme, and they suck. They kill more babies than I don't know what. Kill more baby birds. Okay, this is pretty much what you need. All in these things right here that they use for let me figure it out. They're bed pads for elderly and sick people, so they don't mess up the bed and shit and pissing on it and all that. They work out great. Or towels too. I just happen to have a bunch of these, so I'm using these. You want to make sure your work area is clean, so that way you can have clean utensils and everything. And most importantly, the knowledge of the formula and its temperature. The bird's body temperature is 102 degrees Fahrenheit. Any liquid, food, anything that's hotter than 105 Fahrenheit scalds. I know there's people out there going to say, why feed 107, 108, and 109? Exactly. How many birds have you had die? Feeding above 105, 105, that's 105 degrees Fahrenheit, scalds their tongue, the back part of their tongue, their throat, and their crop. And over time, that creates yeast. And that yeast creates a lot of problems. A lot of problems. So, I mean, if you want to do it, by all means, I've known people that's done it, and it's caused a lot of problems. So, I've taken the time to learn their temperature and what's the best temperature for them for the formula. So, there you go. This is the best that I can give you. This is how I started. You can also use an incubator if you learn how to do it. You learn how to adjust it a certain way you need to. I got one of them, but they're a pain in the ass if you don't know how to do it. You can use the heating pads. If you can find one that stays on all the time. Nowadays, that's really hard to find because people are idiots and they fall asleep with them on them. So they end up getting burned or whatever. And that's why they do what they do. They shut off in about 3 hours. So if you can find one that doesn't shut off in 2 or 3 hours, you can use that. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments. Message me. Hit me up on Facebook. Message me there, whatever. I'll help you the best way I can. If I ain't got a video for it and you need help, I'll make a video for it. Ain't no big deal. Thanks again for stopping by A Flock of Birds with the bird hand rearing starter kit.